of land in Palestine. That portion of land occupied by the children of Judah was called Judea. And the people outside, they said that the religion followed by the children of Judah in Judea is Judaism. That's how this word Judaism came about. It's not in the Torah, it's not in the Talmud, it's not in the Mishnah. This is an invented word, concocted word. They concocted it and they liked the term and they adopted it. Judaism. But poor Moses, he never heard about Judaism. What about Christianity? If we had an opportunity in his second coming, Jesus Christ, if we have a chance of asking him, said, all right, oh Jesus, what is your religion? I do not expect him to say Christianity, because he also never heard the term. Believe me, in his lifetime he never heard the word Christianity. He never heard the word Christ. In his lifetime he never heard those terms. If he said Christianity, we have a right to ask him, what church do you belong to, sir? What church? Are you an Anglican, or a Roman Catholic, or a Methodist, or a Lutheran, or a Presbyterian, or a Jehovah's Witness, or a Seventh-day Adventist, or a Mormon? What are you? What church? You'll agree it's ridiculous to ask Jesus what church he belongs to. What do you expect him to say? We expect him to say that my religion is a religion of total submission to God's will. And one word for that in the Arabic language is Islam. That's all. His religion was Islam. The religion of Moses was Islam, and Moses was a Muslim. The religion of Jesus was Islam, and Jesus was a Muslim. Does that mean he was following Muhammad? No. A Muslim means one who submits to the will of God. Abraham was a Muslim. David was a Muslim. Solomon was a Muslim. Jesus was a Muslim. Muhammad was a Muslim. Anyone who submits to the will of God is a Muslim. The whole of nature is Muslim. They all submit to God's will. Man, often, of course, he goes against the will of God, and he is not submissive. He says, I'm an atheist. He says, I'm an agnostic. He says many things about himself. See, but nature, everything in nature, the sun, the moon, the stars, the plants, the planets, everything submits. And as such, in Islam, they are all Muslims. They bow to God's will. Man is the only exception. He rebels. So the religion, where does the word Christianity come from? Is it in the Bible? Holy Bible of the Christians? It's not there. The word Christianity is not there. But there is the word Christian. It does occur. It occurs in the New Testament. At Antioch, the enemies of the followers of Jesus, disparagingly they pointed to them, telling that these are Christians, implying that these are the worshippers of Christ. So they were called by the enemies Christians. Jesus didn't say, I'm a Christian. He didn't tell his disciples, you are Christians. No, he's the enemy saying that these are Christians, worshippers of Christ. Like Buddhists. All these are invented terms. Buddhism. Did Buddha say my religion is Buddhism? No. Did Christ say Christianity or Christianism? No. Did Moses say Judaism? No. These are people applying labels from the outside. And sometimes people love these imitation labels, concocted labels. You see, in my country, I come from South Africa. In my country, we have been divided into races. It's a land of apartheid. Apart means keeping apart. Hate, the Afrikaans word apartheid means the philosophy of keeping people apart. So in keeping us apart, naturally it creates prejudices. So the white man calls the black man, anybody who is not a European is black. No matter how white he looks, he's black. In my country, if you don't originate from Europe, you are black, no matter how white you look. Like me, when I go to some of the African countries, they treat me as a white man. And I get rough treatment. I say, look, I'm the black man you are fighting for, man. You fool. It is me who is I'm being persecuted. And you also kick me in the face. What's wrong with you? Can't you see? I'm the black man. I said, no, you're not black. I said, I'm black. My children are lighter complexion than me, but they are black. No matter how white you look, you are black if you don't originate in Europe. So they divided the communities. Among the whites, there is a big division. But for the purpose of convenience, they are united in ruling the black man. Among the whites, there are the Afrikaners who are ruling at the moment. By force of numbers, they are in power. The English-speaking people, they were ruling for a long time, until 1910, I think. The union took place and they started ruling together, and the English people were ruling, and somehow around 1948 or somewhere, that the Afrikaner nation, they came to the top by force of numbers, they got into power, and there's no power on earth can move them now, unless there is a revolution. See, the English and the Germans and the French all put together can do nothing, because the Afrikaners will predominate it by numbers. So among the whites, the Afrikaner calls the Englishman Ruinek. Ruinek in his language means rednecks. Rednecks because he says that this guy is a softy. He goes in the sun for a little while, he gets red in the neck. Softy, effeminate fellow, the Englishman. And the Englishman calls the Afrikaner Boera. Boera means farmer. But when he says Boera, he means backward, rustic. He doesn't mean, Boera literally means a farmer. And he's proud to say, I'm a farmer. But when an Englishman calls him a Boera, it means you backward, rustic fellow. Okay? So the Englishman calls him Boera, and this guy calls him Ruinek. Then they call me, my people, they call us coolies. Coolies. Because some of our people went to labor in South Africa to cut sugar cane, so they said they went as indentured laborers. They saw every Indian a coolie. Coolie means a laborer. Then there is a colored community. There's a mixture between white and black. There are about 3 million. The white man created them. When he went to South Africa, that part of the world, he didn't take his wives along with him, so he got stuck into the Bushman woman and the Hottentot woman and the Bantu woman, and he created a mixed breed of people. 3 million today, his children, but they are all rejected. The white man rejects them all. He calls them Hottentots, means Hottentots, or Bushmen. They are the coloreds in my country. Coloreds means mixed breed. But when he talks about them, he calls them Bushmen, Hottentot, Hottentots. And the African, the sons of the soil, he is called Kafir. Now mind what church he goes to. He is a Kafir. So these are labels applied by the enemies one to another. I know Indian, I don't go around boasting I'm a coolie. Nobody does that. The Englishman doesn't go around boasting I'm a Ruinek. The Afrikaner doesn't go around boasting I'm a Boera. The colored doesn't go around boasting I'm a Hottentot. No, he doesn't. He's the outsider, the enemy is pointing disparagingly and calling such names. But the Christians loved the term, so they adopted it. It's a term invented by the enemies. They say, Christian, you worshippers of Christ. Buddhists, worshippers of Buddha. Buddhists. And they call us Mohammedans. You know that? They call us Mohammedans. They say that we are the worshippers of Muhammad. No, there is no such creature on earth. They don't know that. We didn't correct them. It's Mohammedans. They have been calling us Mohammedans. Worshippers of Buddha are Buddhists. Worshippers of Christ are Christians. Worshippers of Muhammad are Mohammedans. But there is no such creature. There is no worshipper of Muhammad. We are 1,000 million Muslims in the world today. Worshippers of God, God Almighty. Muhammad is a messenger, a prophet. He is no God. But this is the Westerners' way of labeling people. We worship Christ, so we are Christian. That guy worships Buddha, so he's a Buddhist. So these guys must be worshipping Muhammad, so call him Muhammadan. But this is how the word Christian came about in the book, and Christianity around the word. And where did the word Christian come from? It comes from the word Christ. Where did the word Christ come from? It came from the word Messiah. Messiah. Arabic Masih, which means anointed. I will be dealing with that aspect tomorrow. About Christ in Islam, I will deal with that. But now what we see is that in the teachings of Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, there is not in the fundamentals, not an iota of difference. They all came from the same God, preaching the same religion. Each according to the time, age, according to the needs of the people. This is the religion of God. According to the needs of the people, God Almighty gives people guidance. The Jews, the children of Israel, they came out of the Egyptian